Hi everyone, David Maley here, and today this is part 3 of a series we've been doing on removing and dealing with seasonality in Excel. So in this one we're going to be doing the pivot tables and charts, which look really cool. So if you haven't already watched parts 1 and 2, please go back and watch them. Part 1, we showed you how to do VLOOKUP with multiple criteria, and then we also explained to you about seasonality and why we want to deal with it, and why we have to address it, and why we want to remove it from our data. And then in part 2 we dealt with moving averages. We created multiple different moving averages and even a median average, and we created them on the regular sales data and then the deseasonalized sales data. And then we took the ranks that we had from video 1 and we removed the seasonality from the data, and then we created another moving average for that so that we could compare them all in this video. So in this video again we're going to do pivot tables and charts. We're going to end up with this great chart right here, which shows you our total sales and our sales that's deseasonalized or sans seasonalities, without the seasonality, and then we'll put different moving averages in here to show you them. In this case I just have moving average for 4 weeks, but we'll show you different ones. So again, we're using the same data set, Frisbee Golf Store sales, and if I take this up here, this is from 2014. And we've used these columns here. We created the moving averages and the rank factors and sales without seasonality. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create, we just click in here, hit insert, and a pivot table. So when that pivot table comes up, what you'll see, let me just right click here to show you the field list, you'll see this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select, well, week num is our time series data, so it's got it by week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case we have 4 through 22 in there. So we want to have that, we put week number in here, but I also have periods. This column right here, we have a pre and a post and a during period. So during is during the campaign, pre is before the campaign, and post is afterwards. This way people can see, your customers, people you're doing reports for, can see how you will show them the incrementalities, or how this campaign, how effective was the campaign. It could have been an email campaign, it could have been a mailer, it could have been anything. It could have been a phone campaign. Whatever it is, this is the dates of the during campaign, the weeks during it, the weeks pre, and the weeks post. So what we've done here is we've built this pivot table based on period, week number, and then what we've got in this column is I've got total sales MA4, which is our moving average for 4 weeks, and our sales without seasonality, so we can compare them back and forth. And you can look at them if you want in this pivot table, that's fine. But what I also like to do is then go from here, click anywhere in here, and then hit insert and pivot chart. Once you click that, you can select the chart you want, and I want a line chart. So if I were to go here, this is my line chart. Right, so I could say change chart type, and this is what you'll see when you go into the pivot charts. And I want a line chart because it shows it better. I could have picked combination if I wanted, like for instance, if there was such a huge difference between them, and I don't want a line way at the bottom, I could use the combo chart and use like a bar chart for part of it, or a columnar chart or something like that. But this is what I want in this one. Then what we've got is I've got these 3 in here. Now I could change these around. I could bring in, instead of MA4, I could easily take this out. This is what I love, you working with pivot tables and pivot charts for creating the data in the end. It is so easy to work with. I could take the MA4 out, put MA3 in, which is the moving average for 3 weeks. I could put the median factor in there. I could put also the N1, which is not showing, and the reason being is we created this afterwards. So what we need to do is add this in. So if you've created another column like we did here, we forgot to add it in afterwards, then what you do is just go here, go to Analyze, change your data source, bring this up, minimize that, move this off the screen there a little bit, and see, so before it ended here in O, well I want to include this SMA4, so let's just do this, go back to the beginning and up there, and what we do is just hit OK. And then we go back to our pivot table and we refresh it. So we just go to refresh, and now what I can do in here, if you look at this, is now SMA4 is there. So I could say, maybe I don't want this, maybe I want to have or maybe I just want to add that one in there in addition to it. Now it's going to automatically sometimes put it in the wrong area. Just put that and put it right there. And let's see, it is now, where is it in there? We've got SMA4, but it is a count, so we don't want it to be count. We want it to be sum like the others. So we go here, sum, okay. So maybe now we want to change the name of it to be SMA4. So we do that. And we have to have a space at the end because otherwise it'll match this one in here and it'll tell you it doesn't like that. See, watch what happens if I don't do that. If I do that and I click off it, oh, it doesn't like it because the name already exists. So let's just do this, space, and then it's good. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure this is showing in the same format, and it already is. So we're good. If it wasn't, you would just select these, right click, format currency. Okay, so now below what we'll see is, oh, look at our graph. Now we got another one in there. So remember, I already put period, right? So by putting period first for week number, it looks like this. If I change those two around, it's going to be ugly. That's not what you want. I mean, you could have that if you wanted to, but I don't want to. If I had multiple campaigns, I might do that in there to show off the different campaigns, but I'm not going to do that. So we have pre, during, and post period. And now what you can see is the most important things here is our total sales, this one right here, and our sales without the seasonality. This is deseasonalized, the purple line here. So you got the whitish, yellowish line up here and that one. Now look at the moving averages. This is what I want you to see. This is why we want to deal with seasonality. Okay, the top one is the moving average for the original sales data set, right? Now, or the sales numbers. Now look at that. It looks like it's an uptrend, right? Now once I take the seasonality out, okay, that's removing our holidays, our special events, big marketing things, marketing noise, other various campaigns and things that happen, local events. Maybe there was a big event that happened. It could be anything. Okay, when I remove those things, look at the difference. Now look at this moving average and look at that one. So look at the orange line and the red line. Do you see a difference? The red line is clearly going up. It's a long spread out up. But look at the yellow or the orange line. It is actually going down. So the difference is I want to be truthful to my customers, to my requesters, and be able to say, hey, your campaign did this and it resulted in this amount of money. Well, at this point right now, I can show them quickly, look, your campaign, it didn't do bad, it didn't do great, it just, this is what it was. But if I didn't deseasonalize it and I didn't take into account things like the previous years of, events and things like that, which we showed you here with seasonality, I might be giving my customers the wrong information, and I don't want to do that. So you want to be accurate, and once you've done that, we could remove the other moving average if we wanted to. We could remove the MA4 or any of those we want very easily. All we'd have to do is go in here, find it, take it, there it is, it's gone. So now we have this one. Now I could take this moving average here real quickly, just like I did the other one, and change the colors. Let's say now this one I want to be that red line, and so I have to do both of these, the fill and that, because if I don't, what happens is that you'll have dots that are of the other color or the line that's of the other color. So now when you look at this, we have our data. Let me get this correctly situated here, and we can clearly see the pre-data that's got the seasonality, and got a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And then we also have the data with the seasonality removed, the deseasonalized data. And then we have the new moving average based off that. This is going to be more correct. It's going to be what they would want. There are some situations where you might want to leave the seasonality in. And I'll go into that with some other videos. And I also have a video that goes into that that's more into R and some more coding with R, and there's an ARIMA series I have of 6 videos, I believe it is, that goes deeper into that, where you test and test heavily, and then you decide, oh, you know what, I want to bring back in the seasonality because it's more realistic with my numbers. In this case, you don't need that. Both number sets look realistic, and this shows the true numbers of what that campaign did during it, before it, and after it. So this is what we do in digital data science and data analytics all the time to give our customers, our requesters, teams, departments, whatever, various companies, good data, good results in reporting and analytics on their data. And in this case, we're working on marketing campaigns and showing you how a frisbee golf store's sales have been changed or altered by a campaign and whether it was effective or not, and we removed seasonality to be able to better show that. Well, thanks for watching. If you haven't watched the other two parts, part one, we covered VLOOKUPs with multiple criteria, where we went and took a full year of data. Actually, it says 2016. I think it's 2014, so that's a misnomer. Then what we did was we went and took that. It's in here. It's 2014, and we went and created these columns, concatenated columns, so that we could do it with multiple criteria. Because if you did it with just the week number or the date, it wouldn't come over right. Especially if this were to change over time, and I had 2 years of data in there, how would it know if week one was in 2014 or 2015, for instance? Okay, and let me correct this while we're in here, so it's correct, because we don't want to be incorrect. So let's make that 4. Okay, and so we brought this data from here over to the other sheet with the concatenate and the VLOOKUP that we used in the video 1. And then in video 2, what we did was we used these colored columns here, and we created moving averages, and we helped deal with the seasonality through rank factors. So we brought in this rank from the previous full year, okay? And then what we did was we dealt with it with rank factoring. And I showed you the different formulas, nested ifs we did, and how we calculated the seasonality in it, or dealt with it and deseasonalized the data. I also showed you we have this period of pre, during, and post, and then we also created a moving average built off the new deseasonalized data. So if I had left in this one, the MA4 in there, you saw that was too high, and that would not have been correct necessarily. I left it in there to show the difference, but the MA4 one was higher because it was built off of the original data. So then in this video we covered the pivot tables and charts, and I showed you, walked you through that. This is a little bit customized. I showed you how to, change the colors in here. And then the only other thing we did was that maybe I didn't show in here, we added the chart title, and then we used this to select this one down at the bottom of these styles for our graph here. So, and that's it. That's basically what we have, and it shows you how we have it grouped by, period, and then by week number, and then that's our data there. So we can show people, I can show the requesters and say, hey, I'm going to go with deseasonalized data, and this is why. Let me show you how the difference is here. And this is going to show you how your campaign did and how it truly did once we removed out the holidays. See, like, look at this. You've got a big hit here on the 9th week, and that could have been a holiday. This one, same thing, that could have been a holiday. And so what you've done is see how the big range, how this ranges over a much larger area. This is a much smaller area it ranges over. It's much more seasonalized or deseasonalized, much smoother, and much better for your customers, as it will give them the correct data in your results, and you'll be more accurate. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and please check out videos 1 and 2 for this series. And also feel free to go to my channel and look at all the other great videos I have on there, from Excel and data analysis, business analysis, data science stuff, R coding, all kinds of cool stuff, reusable processes. Basically everything I build here is stuff that I use at work every day. I work at one of the 20 largest companies in the United States doing data science and data analysis, and what we do is we try and make things so that they're automated and reusable processes, reusable models wherever possible, because who wants to rebuild the wheel every time? So thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful and interesting. Please subscribe and like, and have a great day.